Hello, and today's learning target is I can identify when an equation has one solution, no solution, or infinitely many solutions. Let's take a look at example 1. Okay, we need to solve this equation for x. So I am going to distribute because I see parentheses with a number in front, and we know that that tells us to use the distributive property. That means I'll draw an arrow and take 3 and multiply it by every term that's inside of the parentheses, and then I'll go ahead and multiply. So 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, minus 3x equals 8. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms, so I see a 3x minus 3x. So 3x minus 3x is 0x, and when it's 0x, I don't even need to write that down. That's just 0. So now I'm left with negative 6 equals 8. I'm out of x's. My variable is gone. So I'm left with just negative 6 equals 8. Does negative 6 equal 8? Are they the same thing? No, they are not. So this here does not exist, and we have no solution. That means we could not find a solution for x to make this equation true. You could also represent no solution with a circle and a line through it, and that also means no solution. Okay, let's take a look at our next example. I'm going to solve this equation for x. So again, distributive property. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Plus 4x equals negative 8. I see that I have some like terms. I see a negative 4x and a positive 4x. So negative 4x plus 4x is 0x, and again, I can cross those out. I don't need to write them. Because it's 0x, 0, I do not need to write that. So I'm left with negative 8 equals negative 8. Okay, so this example is a little bit different than the previous one we just did. Negative 8 equals negative 8. Is that true? Does negative 8 equal negative 8? You bet, right? They're the same number. So here, we could have plugged in anything we truly wanted for x, and it would work out. So here I have infinitely many solutions. And again, we have infinitely many solutions because we could plug in whatever we wanted in for x into our original equation, and the equation would hold true. And we also noticed that we had infinitely many solutions because of when we solved the equation, we got down to negative 8 equals negative 8. A number is equal to itself, and that also means we have infinitely many solutions. Okay, let's take a look at this next example here. And I am going to go ahead and distribute because I see parentheses with a number in front of it. So I'll draw my arrows. And negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is plus 10. Minus 2x equals 50. And I do see some like terms here. A negative 6x minus 2x is negative 8x. And then this plus 10 stays as it is, equals 50. Now I'll go ahead and solve for x. So I'll subtract 10 from both sides, and I'm left with negative 8x equals 40. Last step is to divide by negative 8 to isolate my variable x, and I get x equals negative 5. So here with this example, I actually got a number answer, and that's different than the last two examples when we got no solution and infinitely many solutions. So let's check our work just to make sure that we're right. Let's plug negative 5 back in. So negative 2 times 3 times negative 5 minus 5 minus 2 times negative 5 equals 50. And let's make sure this is true. So 3 times negative 5 was negative 15. So negative 2 times negative 15 is 30, and negative 2 here times negative 5 is positive 10, minus, and then here, right here, negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. So we're actually going to say plus 10, and that had better equal 50. 30 plus 10 is 40, plus another 10 more is 50. so it works. Sorry if that was a little bit messy. I was writing up there in blue here, but we did get the right answer when we plugged -5 back in, so we know that we're correct. So that example just had one solution, and that one solution was at -5. So far, in our 3 examples, we've seen a different outcome all 3 times. Let's take a look here at this next example. I'm going to distribute the -6 to both terms inside the parentheses. And so I have 4x minus 12x minus 18 plus 8x equals 0. And I do see some like terms. I see a 4x minus 12x and then a positive 8x. So 4 minus 12 is -8, and plus 8 here is 0x. So I end up getting -18 equals 0. Can you recall from a previous example what this means when I have a number equal to another number that's not the same? You got it, no solution. And I'm again going to draw that or represent that by writing a 0 with a line through it, and that represents no solution. Okay, let's take a look at our last example. So let's solve this equation here, and I see a couple like terms. I see a 3x plus 5x. 3x plus 5x is 8x, minus 8x is 0x, so those cancel out. I'm just going to cross them out. And then I see a -4 minus 3, and a -4 minus 3 is a -7. It's equal to a -7. And we saw an example like this earlier. And so when I have a number equal to another number that's its same or that's itself, this is infinitely many solutions. And so again, what this means is that we could plug in any number we wanted in for x, any number, truly any number, wherever we see x all 3 times, and we would get the equation to hold true and it would work out. So that's why it's infinitely many solutions. Now let's look at summarizing what we just found out from this lesson video. Question 1. When solving an equation, if you get an answer, how many solutions are there? If you get an answer, you have one solution, and that one solution would be at x equals whatever number you had solved for. The second question, if you get a true statement, for example, 5 equals 5, -2 equals -2, etc., how many solutions are there? Infinitely many solutions. So again, that's when you have a number equal to itself. That means you have infinitely many solutions, and you could plug in anything you wanted back into that statement and it would work. Question 3. If you get a false statement, such as 0 equals 8 or -2 equals -3, how many solutions are there? No solution. So we can write out no solution in words, or we could represent it with the symbol 0 and a line through it. Thank you for listening to the video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.